I was hanging out with my brother in the living room, and suddenly our mom walked in with this curious question on her mind. She asked, "What's the correlation between poverty with inequality of opportunity, and how does this relationship affect the overall financial prosperity of the individual?"
I believe that populations in poverty have a higher inequality of opportunity, which is a leading determining factor for economic prosperity. More opportunities equal more money, and the other way around, which is my hypothesis. It resembles a cycle. As previously said, more money would make more opportunities. Inequality of opportunity is defined as when people living in the same society do not have access to the same resources. This can be a wide variety of resources, such as political influence, education, balanced nutrition, and a proper standard lifestyle. And follow up, impoverished people are more likely to have less opportunities in the world, resulting in higher rates of income and inequality. According to NPR.org, in the United States, Harvard political scientist Robert Putnam's new book, Our Kids, The American Dream in Crisis, argues that the United States is losing its status as a land of opportunity for all. Ideally, people are supposed to have opportunities no matter what type of social status they belong to, meaning that the environment one grows up in should not be a determining factor for the success they achieve in their life. The disappointing truth is that this is the case of the world we live in today. Opportunities are less reachable for a person in poverty than one that's well off, and these are facts. Many factors control this, whether it's inheritance or the cycle you're born into. Even if it's receiving a proper education, inequality of opportunity increases as poverty increases. According to poverty, UCDAV statistics show that 5% of people in poverty have a bachelor's degree. As one can see, it's very rare cases where this can be seen. About 10% of impoverished people have attended college, but ended up with no degree. About 14% have graduated college. A shocking 29% of people in poverty did not attend high school. Let us explore these 29%. Research finds that the leading factor for dropouts of people in poverty is stress. Whether it's stress from housing conditions, nutrition, or balancing a job with school to provide for your family, people in poverty have many factors around them that result in their cognitive development not to increase. As previously stated, it's like a cycle. If a person in poverty is constantly under stress from external factors, they are not likely to succeed. In fact, an Oxford Journal study found that low-income countries in Africa, Asia, Europe, and the Pacific have the highest rates of suicide within that region. These suicides are associated with psychopathological factors such as depression, hopelessness, which go back to the effects of poverty on the state of mind of an individual. Let us look at countries with low and high GDP to see if inequality of opportunity really does have an effect over income. Take Qatar as an example, with a GDP per capita of almost $117,000, to the poorest country in the world, the Central African Republic, of a GDP per capita of $661. This is taking into account the price differences between the two countries and therefore expressed in the international dollar. Qatar and other very resource-rich economies might be considered outliers here, but suggesting that it's more appropriate to compare countries that are rich without relying on natural resources. The US, a GDP per capita of $54,225 is found in the US, and about $57,410 is found in Switzerland. This means that the Swiss can spend 1 month what people in Central African Republic spend in 7 years. In a country where income is low, resources are less likely to be found, and therefore the lifestyle of the person decreases and their annual income as well as their opportunities decrease, which is a very strong statistic that shows that countries or people in general with more income have more opportunities, and the other way around. If you have more opportunities or you live in a country that's full of resources such as Qatar or Switzerland, for example, then you're more likely to succeed, which is why the GDP per capita would be high. If I may object, I completely disagree because some argue that this is not the case, and I agree with these people. You know, people can break out of the poverty cycle even if they do not have opportunities. Breaking out of poverty can occur. You don't need opportunities to do that. Like multiple examples have been seen, from self-learning to different fundraisers or UN committees helping people out in cooperation with other companies. Even if it's minimum wage jobs, people in poverty can break out of the cycle with a determined mindset of excelling in their jobs. They can break out of the cycle. People have done so in sports careers and businesses that were built from nothing to something, and multiple examples can be seen. You know, these are 1 in a million cases. It's not every day you see people breaking out of poverty, or start a business, or become world-class athletes. Have you ever heard anything about psychological effects poverty has on people it affects? If it were this easy to break it out of the cycle, more than 3 billion people would no longer live on less than $2.5 a day. There would no longer be 1.3 billion people living under $1.5 a day. There would no longer be 22,000 children dying every day due to poverty. Opportunities create a higher potential for income to a person in poverty. That's a fact.
So, tell me what your opinion on the question is. Leave a comment down below and like and subscribe.